While Plateau people were laying to rest the 12 victims who were killed during the latest terror attack in Plateau State, guess what? The Fulanis terrorists were said to have invaded the burial ceremony. I'm going to let you watch that video, but see how this headline captured it. It says, while the 12 people died in Farm District, Plateau State, were being buried, another nearby village came under intense attack by armed Fulani headsmen, triggering panic and forcing mourners to leave the mass burial earlier, media church reporting. Can you see what is happening? And you can see Reverend Ezekiel Dachumo here, as he became so emotional, you know, burying his people all the time during this occasion. Now, take a look at this headline here. You can see what this headline says. Stop referring to armed Fulanis as bandits, because they are people fighting for their freedom, not terrorists. He said armed Fulanis are not terrorists, neither are they bandits. Don't refer to armed Fulanis as terrorists. In Nigeria, it's forbidden to carry arms. These people are carrying arms and buying people. And this Mieti Allah leader has the guts to come out to say, stop calling my people terrorists because they are armed. He went ahead to say, let me take it again. Stop referring to armed Fulanis as bandits because they are people fighting for their freedom, not terrorists, said the national chairman of Fulani Association, Mieti Allah, Bello Bodejo. He went ahead to say the leader of the Fulani in Nigeria, Alhaji Abdullahi Bello Bodejo, described armed Fulanis as people seeking freedom, and therefore said it is inappropriate to label them as terrorists. Similarly, Bello Bodejo described Yan Sakai as the people responsible for the conflict currently happening in Nigeria. He's saying don't refer to armed Fulanis as terrorists. So guys, you can see there are really people who own this country. We saw what happened in the South is how they went all out on the Southeast people in the name of they were looking for ESN members, IPOB members, and at the end, many innocent youths were caught up in that fight. Many lost their lives. But see how these people are being given room to roam about with sophisticated weapons, and their leaders are backing them. And you must have heard that even this northern elder, Professor Yusuf, said this just one day ago. You can see that we strongly reject any plan by Defense Minister Musa to wage war on Fulani people. He is now a political office holder, not a battlefield soldier. We condemn dialogue and not violent solution, not endless warfare. Military confrontation will fail. This northern leader is saying, don't fight the Fulanis, even if they commit the crime. Even if they are buying people of Benue, don't go after them. Their military confrontation will fail, because the new defense minister, Christopher Musa, has come out to say he is going to fight these people to the end. And Nigerians supported him, but now the North is fighting back. Many people have doubted the ability of Christopher Musa to be successful in his fight against terrorism while having somebody like Ribadu as the NSA, because Ribadu is the national security advisor. He tells Tinubu the strategy, the methods, what to do and what not to do. So it is really going to be a very tough fight for Christopher Musa. And now this northern elder, yesterday, you can see this is a latest headline. He tweeted and said, we strongly reject any plan by Defense Minister Christopher Musa, to wage war on Fulani people. He's not even calling it terrorist. Christopher Musa didn't say he's going after Fulani people. He is going after those invading Nigeria, trying to conquer this country. Sacking communities, killing both unborn children in the womb, killing little, old, big and small people. You know, those are the people Christopher Musa is going after. But the North is rejecting any fight from stopping Fulanis killing people. The northern Nigerian leaders are saying, don't dare touch the Fulanis. And now you can see it is now being obvious that these people know what is happening to Nigerians. And now this headline says, famine is death sentence now. Insecurity, kidnapping, forced Kwara farmers to turn to Okada riders for survival. The whole country has been invaded. Recently, they said more than 20 camps of the Fulani terrorists were discovered in Enugu State. More than 20. These people are everywhere. In Ondo State, Yoruba land, they've taken over. They will tell you that they own the forest there. And you can imagine Tinubu is sleeping on all this. Now, Metawale has been accused. The NSA has been accused. Ribadu. You have governors from the north being accused. And Malami, the former AGF, has been accused. And other military chiefs being accused to be funding terrorism. So guys, this fight is not ending anytime soon. I'm just going to allow you to take your time and watch these videos and let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. But before then, see this reaction that this guy reacted as regards to what Professor Yusuf said. This person said, I've always maintained that the moment there is a genuine step towards eliminating these Islamic fighters, their sponsors will show up themselves. It is only natural for men to protect their investment. So this guy is saying these northern leaders that are fighting against Christopher Musa stopping the menace of these Fulanis. They are the ones that are actually, sponsoring them. And this person said, it is the master plan. Install their patron in government and military, Metawale and Ribadu. Arm their illiterate Islamic militia to continue the jihad against Christians, defend the terrorists, and seek for amnesty. That this is the strategy. Don't forget that El-Rufai came out boldly on the national television accusing the office of the NSA for funding terrorism. He said they pay them. They withdrew billions and gave to these people. Don't forget that the Tinubu's government has come out to reject death sentence for terrorists. And many Nigerians have reacted to that. Here's one of the reactions. This person say, wow, can you imagine a president saying this? Implementing death sentence penalty for killers like terrorists and kidnappers will worsen insecurity in Nigeria. How exactly? I get what's really going on here. He is scared of losing northern votes. Declaring the death penalty would mean stepping on powerful toes in the north, where many such criminals originate or find sympathy. It's politics over justice. Plain and simple. This makes a lot of sense. Tell me how Tinubu will say killing terrorists is going to worsen insecurity. People are saying Tinubu is just afraid of ending this insecurity because of his second tenure, because of his second term ambition, playing with the lives of Nigerians. Now, victims of the Kogi State church kidnap, those people that were kidnapped in a church in Kogi State have been seen in a video pleading for their lives. They want Nigerians to contribute 600 million naira for these terrorists so that they will be released. I want you to also take your time and listen to how the very dark man has reacted to that news.
I'm reporting right now. We're here for the burial of the 12 people who were killed, and right now they're saying Fulani people are here again or something, and people are running away. I'm moving towards that direction. If anything is happening, Media Church will be able to get you the videos. The Media Church will be able to get you. We have one of our cameraman is over there, so he will help. But I'm here. I'm going there right now. You can see people running away, people leaving. Burial is not yet done, but people are leaving.
Okay, so let's talk about something serious. Look, it is because of the likes of these guys here and many more that President Tinubu must remain in power till 2031. I mean, must win the next election. Look, when you present before me bad and evil, and you ask me to choose one, I will still choose bad over evil, because evil is evil. Tinubu is bad, but it's not evil. Look, when Ahmad Gumi came out to say Nigerian military can win war against against banditry, I was like, what is this guy saying? How could this guy challenge Nigerian military? And, with such derogatory statements, it's an embarrassment to our military. And I felt that maybe he's speaking in the interest of his Fulani people. And because he has some children that are generals, or maybe almost they are high-ranking soldiers in Nigeria. That is why he's speaking in their favor. But to see another person, Professor Yusuf Usman, coming out to also say the same thing, that military confrontation against Fulani people will fail. This man now, Professor, is equating Fulani civilians with Fulani terrorists. We are not fighting Fulani civilians. We are talking about the terrorists, the banditry, people who are killing Christians in the north. Why are you not addressing that, Professor? Why are you now equating it? Why are you gaslighting? Look at the news that the office of the NSA supply or admitted that they supply arms to the vigilante or to Miyetti Allah. You see, as long as these people remain in power or take charge of our Nigerian military will continue to be puppets. That is why the likes of Burkina Faso are just treating us like a trash. And it's an embarrassment to our military. And I'm in full support that our military structure network should be located to the southwest or to the southeast, because of the likes of these people leveraging and using our military structure power as tools to perpetrate their agenda. They all have one thing in common: Islamic agenda. I don't know why they are wired like that. So Tinubu must win the next election, and power must remain in the southwest or southeast for the next 24 years until the lives of these people are old. And they must not be allowed to come close to our government. No, they must not, because coming close to our government is not to better this country or to push this country forward, but to satisfy their own Islamic interest. That is it. That is it. So somehow, some way, I will be using this platform to speak in the favor of the next election. Yes. You wouldn't know now until the likes of Shetima or El-Rufai becomes Nigeria president. You will know what it means to, you know what it means to have radical extremists, Islamic extremists, as a leader. Buhari is better. Buhari is not an extremist. These guys, they are extremists. That is why many of them, especially Professor Yusuf, was speaking against Buhari government, because Buhari was not an extremist. They are extremists. Imagine, Nigeria military cannot defeat bandits. They will fail if they do so. It's a very big word. On a global stage, you people are just, you are not speaking in favor of this country. You are just fighting for your own interest. When you see a Muslim scholar or educated Muslim, they went to school. Do you know why? Not to add to the cause of mankind or to add value to mankind. No, they went there because of their religious interest. I've said this before, and many people were angry about it. That is the truth. They are educated just for their own interest, for their religious interest, to push for their religious agenda. Look at Zora Mandani in New York, the one that is coming as mayor of New York. All his education in US all this while, it's not coming to advance New York. It's coming to, push for Islamic agenda. And I want to use this medium to advise all the government in the world and all the ministry recruitment to be very careful when they are recruiting all these Islamic extremists. They are not being recruited to, receive such training to help your country or to be loyal to your country. No, they are there or coming to receive such military for their own interest, for their religious interest. That is what they do. So please permit me when I say Tinubu must remain in power until 2031. Yes. And I know the guy is trying so much to make sure that power is to remain in the southwest or southeast. And I'm in full support of that.
That's why the federal government. If you want to invite me. But if you come for night, say you wear uniform, come for night, you'll be Fulani. Because me and Fulani will not exchange. Me and Fulani will not banter. So if you come for night, wear uniform, carry for mine, make the masses know say na Fulani come. Make the masses know say na bandits come. Make them know say na assassin or higher killer come. But to say you want to invite me, I go come. But if you come for night, even though you carry patrol team, you know see say bandit, Fulani, then buy them patrol team for not. For not, you know see say they get patrol team. Then buy them healers for not. So if somebody wear uniform for midnight, if it be bandit, if it be Fulani, if it be assassin, if it be higher killer, if it be kidnapper, no follow for night. If you're not genuine, make them invite you to come.
Sunana Simon Nu. Sunana Simon Nu from Kauru local government.
Okay, speak English now.
We are from Kauru local government, and what happened to us? Kidnapping bandits come to our village since December 2nd. They kidnapped my mother. Now they are 3 months, 2 weeks now with them. So we bring ransom for them since day before yesterday, Saturday. We bring 40 million to them. So what I'm trying to say here is that the government should look into what is happening. We are seriously in problem in this country. Most especially Kaduna State, we have problem. What is surprising me that we have almost 3 to 4 barracks here, and the bandit will carry victims from Kauru local government to this bush.
All right, so sadly, those are the victims of kidnapping in Kogi State, Ekwa Church, Ayetoro. and the kidnappers are requesting for 600 million naira before they release all of them. As you can see old people there and kids. Now, I will tell you this thing for free, and I will keep hammering on this point. The people where they do this thing, are people with military, police, and DSS experience. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me otherwise. See, you see Nigeria, until we find solution to the problem that leads to the problem, we can never get solution to solve the problem. What is the solution that leads? What is the solution for the problem that caused the problem? What's the solution for the problem that caused the problem? You cannot give military men guns and be paying them 100,000 naira, 120,000 naira. Without proper welfare, without housing, without benefits. You cannot give policemen guns and be paying them 80k, 90k, 100k, 150,000. You are giving these people assault rifles to go and stay close to the bush to protect the borders, and that is what you are paying them. Who knows the bushes more than them? Do you understand? All they have to do is to tag team with these guys, some of these headers, they bring them in. You'll be the front of this operation. I'm telling you this thing for free. Until they fix this, until they start taking care of the police and the military people well, this thing will never stop. It will never stop. You don't understand. They are real kidnappers, and they are like system kidnappers. They are like people that are in the system doing all of this. There's no way you don't have ex-military men, serving military men, ex-policemen, serving policemen, ex-DSS, serving DSS, doing these things. You go carry a soldier, go put him for bush, make they food there for 6-7 months. You don't know the area, you don't know where motor they go, you don't know where motor they go, and you are not paying him well. There's no network, there's nothing. You are not paying them well. What do you think you are doing? If you don't know what the problem is, this thing will never stop in Nigeria. You see, this kidnapping, you know, go stop. You know, go stop. Because most of it are not done by the people that you think is done with. Most of it is in collaboration with the people. See, let me tell you something. Fulani herdsmen dey where they cause problem. Terrorists dey. Then people that are capitalizing on all of this still dey. If you see the modus operandi, if you see the pattern of their operation, you will understand that these people are just people that are looking for money. These are not people that are, bro, there's a way you go see all these things, you go understand. And it's always around one area. Kogi, Edo, all those roads, all those places, that places where linked to each other. Do you understand? They don't go and do this type of random kidnappings in the north, because that's like a terrorist base. Those ones go blast them. Those ones don't take over those bushes. You cannot go and do it in Lagos, although they don't get 1 or 2 cases. But you go understand. Say, but if you hear say they kidnap for Lagos now, you know go hear say Fulani herdsman or something, or this. No. It no go make sense to you. They are so the way all these things they, until you start tackling the problem that lead to the problem, you can never get solution to this problem. You must have to tackle the problem that lead to the problem. And the problem is the welfare of the military men, the policemen, the DSS, and the people that are in charge of the security of the country. Unless that, we will get these stories 1 million times. And I can beat my chest to tell you for free that all this thing is connected. All of it is connected. All of it is connected. So what do now we have the video online? What do we do? What do we do? Some of these guys are even guys, so we say politicians carry come. Politicians usually give these guys guns to help them fight their opponents. Then when politicians use them, they dump them. They'll constantly use those guns where the politicians give them. Because usually politicians, what they do is that when they don't enter power, the people who help them enter power, they will sideline them. So all these boys are part of the boys that these politicians give gun. They give them gun, those ones go deep. Then when the politicians they mess up, then they destabilize the states. By then you go to hear kidnapping for here, left, right, and center. And Kogi State is said to be a state where we say their governments, they always try to use them. They empower all these boys of bush with guns. And the perfect front for all of this is the headsman. I'm not saying that the headsman know the community, themselves they do their own, and them their own day. Do you understand? Them their own day. But the perfect cover for a lot of these things you see in Nigeria must be the headsman. The face to it must be the headsman. Again, mind you, before I talk say, because you not take for now, know they think well. Next year, I don't put out very that man is working with Fulani and all that. He's a sympathizer for them. No, get the point. You have to follow intelligence and be very calculative. All of these, they connected. Security operative, politicians, political talks, Fulanis, headsman in the bush, all of them. Anyways, governments, Kogi State government, the people in the bush, they are requesting for 600 million. It's either you go and pay or you go and rescue them. But you can't rescue them because these people know this bush. Go and pay. That's what you're going to do. Rescue those people. God.
Federal Capital Territory, situated at the center of the nation and sharing boundaries with Niger, Kaduna, Kogi, and Nasarawa states, functions as the nation's political and diplomatic center. This strategic status draws in mixture of persons with diverse motives and mindsets, from law-abiding citizens to those driven by criminal motives, seeking to exploit its economic, political, and social significance. Since my assumption of duty as the Commissioner of Police FCT Command in October 2025, the command has undertaken comprehensive review of the prevailing security situation across the 6 area councils of FCT. This assessment identified key issues common to every growing society, including kidnapping, armed robbery, one chance robbery, car theft, drug-related offenses, and other minor crimes. In line with the directives of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Olukayode Adeolu Egbetokun, PhD, NPM, we adopted focused, intelligence-driven operational approach, anchored on crime analysis, hotspot mapping, collaboration with sister agencies, and continuous operational evaluation to guide deployments and tactical responses. These strategies employed during the time under review were built around strengthened community policing engagements, sustained intelligence-led policing, targeted clearance operations, enhanced visibility policing, public enlightenment, and strategic communication. Achievements between October and December 2025 include, during the time under review, FCT Police Command recorded notable operational successes across multiple crime fronts, particularly in anti-kidnapping operations, armed robbery suppression, arrest of violent offenders, rescue of victims, and recovery of arms, ammunition, vehicles, cash, and other criminal exhibits. A total of 300 cases were recorded within the period under review, leading to the arrest of 160 suspects across various categories of crime. Arrests. Within the period under review, kidnapping incidents recorded stood at 7 cases, with 41 suspects arrested. Several kidnapping gangs operating within and around FCT were disrupted through intelligence-led operations, forest combing exercises, and joint operations with sister security agencies. Armed robbery cases recorded during the time under review stood at 62,
resulting in the arrest of 38 suspects. These operations led to the dismantling of several armed robbery syndicates and recovery of firearms and live ammunition. Cases of one-chance robbery recorded during the period stood at 26, resulting in the arrest of 38 suspects. These operations led to the dismantling of several armed robbery syndicates and recovery of firearms and ammunition. Car theft and vehicle snatching cases recorded during the time under review stood at 35, with 11 suspects arrested and 20 stolen vehicles comprising those gotten through armed robberies and those removed from where parked were recovered within the Federal Capital Territory and outside the Federal Capital Territory. Arrests were also recorded in respect of homicide, cultism, drug-related offenses, illegal possession of firearms, cyber-related fraud, and other violent crimes, with 120 suspects apprehended across these categories. Rescues. During the period under review, the command successfully rescued 24 victims of kidnapping, including women and children, from criminal hideouts and forest locations within and around the FCT. Victims of one-chance robbery and other violent crimes were also rescued following prompt police interventions. Cases charged to court and convictions. In line with the command's commitment to due process and effective justice delivery, 96 suspects were charged to court during the period under review. Of these, 60 convictions were secured, while other cases remain at various stages of prosecution. The cases charged include kidnapping, armed robbery, homicide, fraud-related offenses, cultism, burglary, and other serious crimes. Meanwhile, disciplinary cases involving police personnel were also addressed through appropriate internal mechanisms in accordance with extant regulations. The recoveries, I need to itemize them for you. Significant recoveries were recorded during the period under review, and they include 21 AK-47 rifles, 10 shotguns, 1 K2 rifle, 37 locally made pistols, 31 locally fabricated firearms, 4 magazines, 13 knives, 7 cutlasses, 2 long scaffold rods, 7 phones, 86 bags of dried leaves suspected to be cannabis sativa, aka Indian hemp, 4 digital scales, 106 cut-to-size cables. In fact, just this morning, we recovered 96 of these cables in a tinted vehicle that they saw parked somewhere and went to search the vehicle. Lo and behold, the driver took off. He lost control, fell into a gutter, and search was conducted. 96 were recovered in a tinted vehicle. Tinted vehicle. I keep echoing this so that we will know that those such vehicles are used to perpetrate crimes and criminality. Handsaw and iron bar, 3 ATM cards, 2 ID cards, large quantity of illicit drugs and substances, 193 rounds of live ammunition of various caliber, 14 vehicles linked to car theft, armed robbery, kidnapping, and one chance. $12 counterfeit stamps, counterfeit boarding tickets, and cash recoveries were also made from various criminal operations within the period under review, amounting to 15,450,000 naira only, including proceeds of kidnapping, armed robbery, fraud, and other crimes. Other exhibits recovered include communication devices, motorcycles, dangerous weapons, illicit drugs, and other items linked to criminal activities. Neutralization of criminal elements. During several high-risk operations, which may not be well detailed here because some of them are carried out quietly, particularly anti-kidnapping operations and response to robbery operations. 9 armed robbery suspects were neutralized following gun duels with the police operatives while attempting to evade arrest or take away hostages. Police officers who paid the supreme price. I think it is important to mention this here. It is with deep respect, with deep sense of loss that I want to announce that we recorded 6 police officers that paid the supreme price in line of their duty during the period under review. Their sacrifices remain a solemn reminder of the commitment of the Nigeria Police Force to the protection of lives and property. May their souls rest in peace. Moving forward, building on the operational gains recorded since my assumption of duty, FCT Police Command will continue to intensify on community policing engagements, deepen intelligence-led policing strategies, sustain targeted clearance operations, strengthen interagency collaboration, and expand public enlightenment initiatives to address evolving security challenges within the FCT.
Doctrine will fundamentally change how we confront terrorism and other violent crimes. Under this new architecture, any armed group or gun-wielding non-state actors operating outside the state authority will be regarded as terrorists. Bandits, militia, armed gangs, armed robbers, violent cults, forest-based armed groups, and foreign-linked mercenaries will all be targeted. We will go after all those who perpetrated violence for political or sectarian ends, along with those who finance and facilitate their evil schemes.
Again, just words until you actually see the action. It is reported recently, just 2 days ago. Remember those people arrested, those guys arrested by soldiers, by soldiers in Ifelodun local government area of Kwara State, then confessed that their guns and everything they found on them were, they were given to them by people in government, Kwara State government. Well, they turned out to be members of Miyeti Allah. And then it also turned out that the Office of the National Security Advisor of Nigeria, that is Office of Ribadu, approved guns or arming of some Miyetti, some Fulanis. Therefore, while they control what you can have access to defend your family, to defend your own communities, Office of Rebadu is issuing tons of guns, right? Rebadu was arming the Miyetti Allahs. And this is not actually like, a rumor. It's been confirmed. So most of the guns you see with these Fulanis, for those who identify as Miyetti Allah, and those who got the guns and didn't identify as Miyetti Allah, the Office of the National Security Advisor of Nigeria is giving guns to the same people Tinubu said called state actors. Let that sink in, right? Let that sink in. To Akpabiole, majority of you may have all these opinions, including myself, about Tinubu and how they are running Nigeria, but that is not their own fault. That you are not seeing it the way other people are seeing it, because as of today, almost everyone that was on the other side to Tinubu wanted to be inside with Tinubu now. And he can attest to that as a Senate president, using the Senate chamber, Senate house or so, as a reference.
Stakeholders coming in from other political parties must be given equal opportunities to thrive. There must not be any discrimination. Do your best not to leave anybody behind. In the Senate, we are doing our best to ensure that we carry the Senate as one, irrespective of political party. And I can confirm to you that when we came in, the opposition had almost 50 members. But today, when I counted, there are about 5 or 4 left in the opposition. And even those 5 members have whispered to me that I should carry them to the president, the leader of the party, that they are prepared to join the APC. As the president, I will soon bring some of them. I don't want to run a Senate without any opposition. So because of that, I have intentionally, I'm reporting to the caucus, allowed the APC members who have declared in their states, who are yet to declare in the Senate, to continue in the minority caucus. Otherwise, that place would have been empty. And so I thank Governor Peter Mba for allowing our Senator Ositangu to continue to maintain the position of the Chief Whip of the minority for today. Thank you, Your Excellency. Otherwise, the place would have been empty. So as we grow, there will be envy, there will be jealousy. And with jealousy comes hatred. And with hatred comes challenges. So, Mr. President, ours in this caucus today is to assure you that we are not only with you, we are also praying for you. Praying for you to overcome the challenges of the day is also praying for Nigeria. We are very sad that people have decided to torment Nigeria with very serious organized and orchestrated insecurity. We align ourselves with states that are mourning as a result of the loss of lives occasioned by terrorists, by bandits, and by insurgents. We thank the President for the release of over 100 children who were kidnapped very recently, and we pray to God to give him the ability and the enablement to release the remaining children. Stakeholders.
Welcome to Nigeria. People are jealous of us. It's not a problem that, you know what I mean? We are in power. We are the one everybody is coming to. So we accommodate those we can accommodate. We carry them along. And we still leave some out there so that it, doesn't really kind of look too obvious that you are running a one-party state or you are headed for one. So if you complain, it's because you are jealous, and because you are jealous of them, then you started hating them. When you talk about them, when you out them in anything, it may be coming from the position of jealousy and hatred. Oh, it is because they hate us. It's not because we are doing bad. It's not because that a terrorist took 315 school children from their dormitory and it never actually caused any national uproar it never really moved this same political class. They are not shaking, nothing. Not to worry that, oh my God, this has ruined our opportunity for next election, or how our party will suffer this. No, they're not bothered. They are praying to God to give Tinubu energy to rescue the rest of the children. And for the states who are suffering from one calamity or the other because of terrorism, because of bandits and the rest of them, we pray to God to give President the energy to, they don't care. No, they don't. I wouldn't say it's sad. Hopeless Uzodingba even went further to say, because things are not really the way some people want it to be. So this opposition want to take advantage of that. Mr. President, don't listen to them. We are with you.
And the urgent need of interventions in the form of far-reaching reforms. It was clear that only a sincere and intentional leader of steel with courage to implement policies that will make Nigeria take its right pride of place in the Committee of Nations was needed. And this would require abolishing the petrol subsidy and eradicating the currency racketeering that was bleeding the nation's economy to death, among other measures. We know that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, simply took the bull by the horn on May 29, 2023, as soon as he assumed office, and courageously rolled out the policies needed to salvage our fragile, dying national economy. We regret, honestly, that opposition elements have been trying to misrepresent the truth during the healing process that followed the visionary and transformative reforms of Mr. President, telling Nigerians that the reforms are designed to hurt the citizens. This is the height of hypocrisy. It is an irony that politicians who also contested elections to become the president of Nigeria, in their manifestos made promises to undertake the same reforms if elected into office. The same people are the ones now trying to weaponize the implementation of the policies in the name of opposition politics. We are glad that Mr. President has refused to be distracted. We are also glad that Mr. President's fire for fire approach to insecurity is bearing fruits. Specifically, the lightning-fast rescue of the kidnapped victims in Kebbi State, in Kwara State, and in Niger States, which stands in a sharp contrast.
Àmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀ yìí ó dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tí ọpọlọ rẹ̀ yòrò tàbí ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fi síbi aláṣà àwọn ọpọlọ rẹ̀ bí ọpọlọ ikú ó jọ má bẹ́ẹ̀ tọpọlọ rẹ̀ ò tó nǹkan rárá tàbí ètò wà ń bẹ kó má tiẹ̀ wúlò má rárá.
Sycophants that surrounds Kolu. We are glad that Tinubu's reform is yielding results. Tinubu's action on insecurity is yielding results. People around him. Sometimes you'll be wondering and say, well, is he not living in the country too? These are also the characters around Bokwari. When Bokwari was on the verge of destroying Nigeria, they were telling him he was doing fine. That those who didn't agree, they were just enemy of Nigeria, only for these same criminals. Few days after Bokwari left, they started talking about how Nigeria is so bad. If not for that, Tinubu came. You understand that Nigeria is so bad. Who destroyed Nigeria? that Tinubu had to fix it. So they are like, man. So they now told us that that's how it works in that old rock. You get me? They said that when Bokuwari was there, Omole the guy that just published a book about Bokuwari, yeah, he just said something about cabals. He said the cabals around the Bokuwari, this is going to be like the third time I'm actually hearing this, all right? So maybe he worked with Bokuwari, so you know. So he's talking about cabals around these guys. That they were so good that they were curating Bokuwari's newspaper. Yeah. Do you understand what that means, right? Don't worry, I'll tell you. When you go to the newsstand to buy a copy of Daily, right? And you understand that if you go to newsstand in Lagos to buy the Nation newspaper for today, and the other people go to Abuja newsstand or Owerri newsstand, they are all going to get the same contents. Yeah? Yeah, you're going to get the same content when it sees national dailies. But when it comes to Bokuwari, they add a different curated copies. They are pretty much just praising the government. People so happy. Economy getting better, improving. Here you get headlines, everything different. And they said because Bokuwari loves cartoon, they will make caricature cartoons of, here you get, to just put in between. Like they are curating newspapers for Bokuwari. So why the rest of you are reading different newspapers about what's going on in the country? He is reading a different one, telling him a different thing. And those around him ensured of that. I didn't say it. Maybe I should put it properly, the way he said it.
Perhaps what you ran away from easily here, what maybe you didn't capture or maybe I have not read, was how Buhari was comfortably able to allow people to run riots in their offices without. I think I've had minister on this program who said, in my years of serving Buhari, he never asked me a question about my role as a minister. That we didn't see much of here.
Well, two things. Number one, this book is not about policy, Buhari policy. It's about the man, Buhari. So, reference to policies is as it relates to his thinking, about what he was thinking around that policy rather than the policy itself. Now, the thing is this: Buhari by nature he delegates. Once he delegates, he allows you to do the work. But the problem, what people don't understand, is that a lot of what he believed was going on was curated by people around him. I mean, for example, there are things I actually did not include in the book that I felt were probably too hot to put in the book.
Like what? The subject matter. Without having to state the details if they are difficult.
Okay. For example, one of the things about Buhari is that he loved reading newspapers. Everybody knows that, right from, the early days. He was a newspaper man. And there were reports that the cabal went to the extent of curating his own newspaper for him.
A version of the newspaper.
Yes, that would plant stories they want him to read.
And and perhaps, there are those who even say that this happened to not only President Buhari, that in fact it may be happening to the present president, that he may not be seeing the actual news, and he may not be reading the actual newspaper, and that leaders in that form and shape and height get to the point of being fed with whatever those who are around him and managing them wanted.
That is true. The challenge, of course, with someone like Buhari is there's one overarching cabal. But in the current government, there are multiple cabals, and that, I think, has its plus and minus. In the sense
so there's a possibility that a president may not know what is happening in the country for 3 days.
Of course.
Because everything is teleguided.
Even the channels he watches. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Everything is
teleguided, is being managed in a way that those who are around him. And that's why the name of Tunde Sabiu, for example, came up. As his level of education, his experience, those who they say controlled
what went on, who saw the president, what kind of, in fact, the daughter of the president wrote, who somewhat is, what's it called?
Forensic auditor.
Yeah, and went and discovered that some of the signatures of the president in documents were forged.
That's correct.
And that's how powerful some of the people around the president. So it's not the fault of some of these presidents sometimes. It could be the fault of those who are managing them, is it?
That is true. I mean, the thing is...
Sheung likes to kind of like mumbo jumbo things unnecessarily sometimes, right? But yeah, we have heard that too. How they manage to, but that's kind of like some BS though. I mean, it's some BS because to be president of a country, you're actually going to, number one, you are living in the country. I mean, before you become president, meaning like they're not curating the news you're accessing, right? Not really. Okay, you've got families around you too. Okay, and then you met people, different kinds of people on your campaign trail, right? That gives you an idea of what this country is. Not just that, you actually have the good grasp, understanding of every part of the country. Economy or security or the people, the language or the culture or the tradition. You get to know everything. Very important. And you know why you have to know everything? I mean, how you can know everything is because in that capacity, right, you have part of staff, advisors, this and that. Well, it is only in Nigeria that they will have over 13,000 political appointees advising the president, and he will never meet them. Yeah, we've had people who were with Bokwari for 8 years, and they never had one-on-one with him for once for that 8 years. Do you get what I mean? So it's crazy though, right? Somebody like Shore will be like, no, don't believe that nonsense. They know what is going on. They know what they want to know. It's basically what they want to know. And they choose to not know what they don't want to know. You know? And I believe Shore over them. So Teknubu's Kaba, who are they? How many?
But in the current government, there are multiple cabals. You know, and that I think has its plus and minus in the sense.
So there's a possibility that a president may not know what is happening in the country for 3 days.
Of course.
Because everything is teleguided.
Even the channel he watches. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Everything is
teleguided, is being managed in a way that those who are around him. And that's why the name of Tunde Sabiu, for example, came up as his level of education, his experience, those who, they say, controlled what went on, who saw the president, what kind of, in fact, the daughter of the president wrote, who somewhat is, what's it called?
Forensic auditor.
Yeah, and went and discovered that some of the signatures of the president in documents were forged.
That's correct.
And that's how powerful some of the people around the president. So it's not the fault of some of these presidents sometimes. It could be the fault of those who are managing them, is it?
That is true. I mean, the thing is, you know, president will always have people around him. You know, but you need to put systems in place to avoid state capture or presidential capture, as for want of a better word. Because, for example, the current government have, from what I can see, at least 5 cabals.
Within the presidency?
Yes. And the interesting thing about one of the cabals actually is headed by the president himself, based on my own analysis. You know, because if you're looking at the word cabal are people who have proximity to power and who have the ability to influence policy and decisions. You know, so in this current administration, you have at least 5 groups, all 5.
Who are these groups?
Okay, if you're talking about the 5 cabal, number 1, there is the chief of staff group.
That's Jamila.
Yes, and by that I mean not just him, people who are in close circle.
In that, yeah.
You had Wiki to that. Yeah. You had NSA to that, and you know people who are in the circle. That's one. Number 2, you have the Sheikh Tinubu's, you know, pathway. That's another.
The voice is that powerful.
Oh yes, and also people he helped to put in government. So that forms another group. The third group, of course, is the First Lady. You can't rule that out. You know, she has her own team. You know, the fourth group is the group of the young Turks around the president, the principal private secretary, the AO, you know, the CSO, those ones that control access, you know, those ones, you know, that they form their own cabal. And then the fifth cabal, which the president head himself, actually are what I call the geriatrics. There are quite a few old people that have influence on the
that he listens to.
That he listens to. So
some of them, I understand, some of them are even complaining that I've not seen him in a long time. They are not allowing us to see him.
No, what you see there is a conflict of cabal. You know, part of the danger of having multiple cabals like that is decision making is slower. Because once one cabal pushes a decision, the others fight against it. And then, you know, it takes a while for the man to make a decision.
And there's a problem. Whoever gets to the president first, and when he hears the story and take action, probably will get the upper hand.
I think that's a problem generally with old people, generally. You know, I mean, for those of us who have old people in the family, the first person to report tends to be the innocent party. You know, but in the current government,
the government of, gerontocracy, the government of geriatrics, by the geriatrics, for the geriatrics, I think. But that's not gerontocracy. Gerontocracy is actually greedy. You know, it's like the greed of few. Cabals. I thought he won't list them. I would have listed 3. I wouldn't have put Rebadu in the same camp with Gbajabiamila, but it was right. Gbajabiamila is responsible for all the political appointments made through the office of Tifnumbu. Do you understand? Everyone working for Tifnumbu got employed by Gbajabiamila. Everyone working for Hitiman got employed by Gbajabiamule. But there are those, like they said, there are those who have the influence of influencing some certain decisions here and there. Then we all know that Remy, you know, Rat also kind of like controls her own space. Yeah, she's got her own power. And Sheyi influenced at least the appointment of 2 ministers in his father's government and several other appointments that, well, Sheyi influenced, you know. But the bottom line is that, as it's always been, okay, the bottom line is that none of this serves the interest of Nigerians. None of it. You know, cabals left, right, and center.
Let me quickly take you through other reactions happening on the social media space. Like I said, the very dark man talks about the Kwara people, the Kogi people who were kidnapped. They've been showcased in a video asking for Nigerians to help contribute 600 million naira. And now let's see how Nigerians are reacting. This man say, if not wickedness, how will you kidnap poor men, children, and will be requesting for 600 million naira? These men know exactly what they are doing. God forbid for Nigeria to have come to this state. What exactly are the politicians still looking for? Is it money or what? And this it is difficult to track. Is it difficult to track and locate terrorists making and posting videos online? Like this online. Another person here say 600 million ransom is insane. Human lives are not commodities. Do full community self know what? The full community self know what 600 million. Government failed Nigerians. This is really just so painful. How on earth are these people supposed to get this amount of money from? Where they know it's the government they need money from. This is so painful. See what the farmer, a farmer, mother and child are passing through in the hands of these evil souls. It's got to punish every terrorist in Nigeria. VDM, what in army they do that they can track these guys? That they can't track these guys even with the joke, even with the joint tax force. When it's Nyetiala, or more, funny again, 600 million. God, I beg. They are doing their own dear, and police and military are here in East collecting 200, making 2 billion a month. Who will be paying the ransom? 600 million. their papa there. At this point, the kidnapping is now an organized business. This country it don't tire me. So guys, these are Nigerians reacting after this video started circulating that those that were kidnapped are now being asked to pay 600 million naira, as if the money, as if they think the money can be picked somewhere. Can you imagine demanding for 6 million naira? That is not a joke. I mean, that money is not a chicken change. Asking for 6 million naira is not a joke. So guys, you can see that these people are really out to finish Nigerians. This is no longer any joke. Now, another headline says Osun Governor Adeleke raises alarm over bandit infiltration through Kwara border. When they were saying that from one community, from one state, they will move to another state, the Yorubas have been busy targeting Igbos. Now, their communities are almost gone at the hands of these Fulanis. It's really so sad. Now, let's see how Nigerians are reacting to this headline of Adeleke. Like this person said, it's time for everyone to defend themselves. Stop complaining. Don't wait for any security to defend you. Let us keep raising the alarm over the jihadist Fulani Islamist expansionist movement into Yoruba land instead of acknowledging that the state is compromised and take our destiny into our hands. Soon there will be sorrow, tears, and blood. So these people are saying that the Yorubas are just raising alarm. Look at the state governor; he's handicapped. He can't do anything. Every power is in the center. Don't mobilize and arm your locals. If a senator can do that in Castina, a governor should do better than raising alarm. If you like, keep dancing and singing, they will come like a thief at the night. Let's push for proactive steps like deploying more troops and setting up intelligence network along the Kwara borders. Raising alarm is a start, but it's time for decisive action and strengthening border patrol. These are Nigerians speaking. So guys, it is no longer funny what is happening in Yoruba land. I mean, everywhere has been taken over. Everywhere is under siege. Maybe because you still, maybe because you still have street names like that, like Igbos. Reclaim your heritage by removing all the Igbo names and replacing them with Fulani names. Yaribabu. This person is now saying the tribe are busy lamenting over Biafra and their preparation is exit shithole camp. Fulani will finish them and occupy their inch of their coastland. Fulani threat is everywhere. It's not just Yoruba land. Yoruba land has been surrounded by the Islamic terrorists. Tinubu till 2031, inshallah. These people who gave us our constitution, okay, the people who gave us our constitution in Nigeria are evil geniuses because the governor has no control over the security of their state. What a disaster. Osun is already surrounded. The bushes along the boundaries of Kwara and that of Oyo are all filled with Fulani terrorists. I mean, this is not a joke. These Fulanis, they've taken over everywhere. In short, if there should be war in Nigeria against these Fulanis, I don't think you'll be able to defeat these guys because they are everywhere, and the Nigerian government will tell you they can't even bomb the forest where they hide. Make honor they do tribalism before Fulani jihadis go buy all of honor. And this they carry our motekun go ora Igbo mina. Now them border Kwara because bush plenty for that place till they reach Elaure. Anyway, guys, from Kwara State now to Osun, the governor is raising alarm. Let's see how Tinubu is going to react. Tinubu saying he doesn't want to kill terrorists because of 2027 election. Let's see how all this is going to go. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.